guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Let's do some amazing crafting. Y'all stay tuned. Okay guys, so yesterday I introduced you to this wonderful collection by the Craft Consortium, illustrated by Claire Therese, and it is the Farm Meadow collection. And when I got this in the mail, I was surprised, first of all, but I was over the moon when I opened it, because when I opened it, it instantly reminded me of my daughter's wedding. And that was one of the things that I didn't mention yesterday, but my daughter was married on a 19th century farmhouse in the field. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful wedding. And when I saw this paper, it just reminded me of that, because when I saw the roosters and chickens actually participated in her wedding. So this just brought back such wonderful memories for me. And I am so happy to be working with this paper, and I'm going to work with it again today. And here is what we're going to be making today. It is this amazingly beautiful and simple box, and as you can see, I've got a latch closure using one of the roosters from the collection, one of the wooden roosters. And when we open this up, guys, this is such a fun little project. I'm using this as an embellishment box, but you can use it as anything that you want. I sectioned it off so that I could actually place little bits and pieces from the collection in here. So I've got some of the washi tape, and I have some of the little wooden pieces, as well as some burlap bows that are not a part of the collection, and then some sweet little lace flowers. Absolutely love how this has turned out. And then up here I've got a pocket that says create. I tucked in a few pieces of embellishments, and as you can see, we have a wonderful way of gifting embellishments. This box is truly a beautiful way to present this as a gift. So let's make it. All right guys, so to make our box, we're going to start with the chipboard pieces that are needed. And the first three pieces that I will talk about are optional. They are the insert pieces. So if you don't want to do inserts in your project, you don't need to do these chipboard pieces. But we're going to need two pieces that measure 2 1/4 by 4. Probably need to trim those down a little bit. And we'll need a piece that measures 5 3/4 by 2. And we may have to make some trim adjustments to this as well. Then we are going to need two pieces that measure 2 7/16 by 3 3/4. We'll need a piece that measures 2 7/16 by 5 3/4. We'll need a piece that measures 2 1/2 by 6. And two pieces that measure 4 by 6. And for the outer cover, I decided that I wanted to use this beautiful piece, and it measures 8 by 12. And I love how it's got a mixture of everything on it. You've got radishes, carrots, strawberries, boxed vegetables, bunnies. You've got a whole bunch on here that just screams, hey, I'm on a farm. And then we need a piece that measures 5 3/4 by 10 1/4 for the inside liner piece. Then we need a piece that measures 13 1/2 by 6 for the box liner. You can piece together two 7 1/4 by 7 1/4 inch pieces if you want to make this project and you want to make it as long and as deep as I have. I'm using some rolled paper, so I'll be able to get mine down without piecing it. But if you want to piece this together, you can start with pieces that measure 7 1/4 by 7 1/4. And then I have a scrap piece that I'll be using to cover the dividers. All right, so I'll be starting with my piece that measures 4 by 6, and I'll place it down using about 1/2 inch from the top. And then I'll place down my 2 1/2 by 6 inch piece, giving myself about 1/8 inch in spacing. And I'll place down my second 4 by 6 piece. Trim away the excess. And then we'll just stand this up fold it over on all 4 sides. And then I'll come back and I'll just miter cut my corners. Now let's place tape on all 4 edges of this paper, and we'll lift up the tape and place down our edges. Okay, so now I'm going to take my edges and fold them over because I have lifted up my tape, and I'll do this on all 4 sides. All right, so now that I have my edges folded over, I went ahead and placed tape on the body of this chipboard so that we could lay down our liner piece. And the liner piece again measures 5 3/4 by 10 1/2. And I decided I wanted to go with this wildflower bouquet from the collection. I started to go with the butterflies, and then I thought, no, I'll go with the wildflowers because I like those. So all I'm going to do is place glue all along the edges, and I am using my smaller glue bottle because my other one is empty and I need to refill it. That is the only reason. And now that my glue is on all 4 sides of my liner piece, I am simply going to take it and lay it down, and naturally I will try to get it as even as possible. I'll bring my paper towel back in, and I use a paper towel just to initially spread the glue out. Then I'll come back with my bone folder and really work the glue in, making sure that I have nice tight creases, no bubbling. All right, guys, so now we have our shell completed, and I am going to work on the body. So I'll set this to the side, and I will bring in my piece that measures 13 1/2 by 6 inches. And like I said, if you don't have a long piece like this, then you can take 2 7 1/4 by 7 1/4 inch pieces and join them together. When you do that, though, you will have just a little bit of a seam showing. So now I'll place down the piece that measures 2 7/16 by 5 3/4 right at the bottom, just like you've seen me doing on the other projects. Then I'll bring in the piece that measures 2 7/16 by 3 3/4, and I am going to place it down, giving myself about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Now I'll use my finger blade just to trim off my excess and flare out. I'll do the same thing on this side. And guys, I do not have a link for this paper here. I bought this paper when I was in Texas visiting my daughter, and we went to the First Monday event in Canton, Texas, and I bought this from a vendor that was there, and of course I wasn't paying attention to vendor names, so I can't tell you who the vendor was. Okay, so now that I have my tape on this side of the board, all I'm going to do is fold it over to get the other side covered. I will use my finger blade to trim away the excess. And now I will take my glue, and I am going to place glue on the bottom. All right, so once I have the glue on the bottom, all I'm going to do is take this piece, place it down, trying to get both sides even, and I want to make sure that I get it as close to my score mark as possible. So all I'm doing now is just shaping this and getting it into place, and by getting it close to the fold mark, basically what I mean is my score mark here, so that when I bring this up and glue the back, everything is going to hit nice and tight. I won't have any gapping. So now we just need to press down on this so that it can dry. And let's let this sit for just a moment, and then I'll be back. Okay, now that this part is dry enough to handle, I am going to go ahead and place glue on the raw edges of my green paper here. And I'm going to be very generous with my glue because I don't want this coming undone. So as you can see, I am placing a nice bead of glue right here all the way to the top. And now all I'll do is just bring this up just like this. And you can see that I've got a nice tight fit on this side and a nice tight fit on this side. I just need to let this dry and then I'll be back. All right, guys, so I am going to fold my top back just a little bit, and you can see just how gorgeous this box already is, and we haven't even put in the dividers. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and just place down my magnet because I need for it to have some time to dry. And I am using an 8mm by 2mm magnet here. All right, so for the dividers, I'll be starting with my piece that measures 5 3/4 by 2. And I am going to test fit this to see if it's going to fit down inside. And you can see that it's a little snug. I could force it in and it'll bow just like that. So what I need to do at this point is I am going to remove about 1/16 of this board, and that's what I'll start with. But I'm going to flip it over on this side because I've got my tape on the back and it already wants to move. So I'm going to press it down and now I'll take it and I'll test it again, and that goes in very easily. So where you decide to place this is really up to you. So I am going to take this and go ahead and cover it with my paper. So I'll take this, place it down towards the end of the scrap paper that I had left over when I cut out my inside liner. And then I'll just come up, flare out, and do the same thing over here. So I'll flare out. Looks like I didn't lay that too straight, so I'm going to come along the bottom and just trim up what I saw as overhang. So now what I'll do is I will take my tape, place some tape on this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my tape on this, and all I'll do is stand it up, just like this, and fold it over. I'll use my blade to remove the excess. And now we can take this and we can put it down inside. Isn't that pretty? And I'll place glue on all 3 edges of the raw chipboard. And if you don't want this to be permanent, then don't place glue on this. Just make sure you have a snug fit when you put this down on the inside, and it will stay in place. Okay, so I have my glue on all 3 sides, and all I'll do at this point is take it, guide it down inside, then I'll look at it to see if it's straight, and if it's not, I will make adjustments to it. And basically I'm eyeballing all of this, guys. I'll just make adjustments until I feel like it's straight enough and I'm happy with how it looks. I am not doing any serious measuring here. This is truly just me eyeballing it and deciding, does this look good enough for me? It does. So the first thing I'll do is clean up a little bit of that excess glue. And so to get our good stick, all I'm doing is pressing in on the side and pressing down to make sure that this stays stuck. We'll give this a moment to catch, and I will be right back. All right, guys, so this is dry enough now, and we're going to go ahead and place in our second divider. And basically what I'm doing is I'm starting with the piece that measures 2 1/4 by 2, but I will be trimming this down because based on where you place these inside of your box, that is going to tell you if you need to trim some of it off. So I am going to take this piece and just trim away a little bit, and that's all you need to do is start trimming away until you have a piece that fits the way. So I'll take this piece, test it, and I still need to trim away. And so now when I put this in, I have a fit that I like. So basically what you need to do, guys, is you're going to start with the piece that measures 2 1/4 by 2. And on the 2 1/4 inch side, that is where you'll trim away until you get pieces that fit however you want to divide your box. So I am going to bring in my paper here, and I have already done the second one for the back, my second divider. So I'm going to place this one down, and then I'll place this one down. All I can give you is an estimate on the dividers because it all depends on how you place yours when you decide to put it in the box. So just start with the piece that measures 2 1/4 by 2 for both of these, and on the 2 1/4 inch side, trim down to whatever you need it to be. And this time I am just going to cheat a little bit because these are small pieces, and because they're so small they won't warp. Place some glue, and then I'll just trim out. Get this stuck down. Do the same thing over here. So I'll trim away the excess and get this stuck down. Use my bone folder to get that nice and smooth and trim away my excess. And now what I'll do is I will place this one first. So I'll place glue on the 3 raw edges, and I'll be placing glue on the 3 raw edges of both. And then with our 2 inch side facing up, all I'm going to do is slide this down in wherever I want a divider. And that is totally up to you how you want your divider to look in your box. So I'll get it positioned. And then when I like the way that it looks, I'll press down, hold it in place, and let it dry for just a moment, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so now that this piece is in, I am going to go ahead and take my other piece with the 2 inch side up, and I am going to place it over here because I want my dividers to look like this. So I am going to take my glue and just place it on all 3 edges of my chipboard, and with the covered 2 inch side facing up, I'll just put it in, slide it down, and then I'll shape it. So I'm going to look at it to see if I need to do any movement to it, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. So we're going to let this dry. I'm going to press down to help it dry, press in to hold it, and we'll let it dry for just a moment, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so this is dry enough for me to share with you guys, and don't you love how it looks? All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and make our pocket, and I made an adjustment to the measurement for this. So we need a piece that measures 3 1/2 by 6, and we are going to score this at 1/2 inch on the 2 3 1/2 inch sides and 1/2 inch on the 6 inch side. And then we'll fold and burnish, and this is, like I said, going to be a very rough little project. We are not going to do any trimming of this at all, and as you can see, I'm using some scrap Prima paper that you guys saw me use on another project. So what I'm going to do here is take my glue and glue this down completely. And then I'll take this piece here, and I am going to glue these flaps over just like this, and let's press down to get them stuck. And then I'll fold this over. So now I'll take this piece, and all I'm going to do is run glue along the edge, just like this. And I'll bring my box back in, and I'm going to get my pocket positioned fairly close to my score mark. That's where I'll start placing it. And then I'll use my fingers just to get that glue nice and stuck. And then I'm going to take one of my Echo Park chipboard accent pieces that I got from Tuesday morning, and I am going to just pick out something that looks like it would just stand out on this. And I like two of these. I love crafting, which is right there, and beautiful. But I also love crafting as my superpower. So I think I am going to go with beautiful because it's nice and big, and it'll take up some space and really stand out. I probably could have gone either way with this, but do you guys see how pretty that is? So gorgeous. I'll use my ruler just to come in and kind of open this pocket up. So if I wanted to fill it with anything, I could. Right now, I'm just going to leave it empty, but I wanted you guys to see just how gorgeous this is. This really is a very simple box to be able to make and use as an embellishment box to give to anyone. I think anyone would be thrilled to have this. And now we need to make the latch for this. And I have a piece that measures 2 by 3, and I have folded it into thirds on the 2-inch side. So all I'm going to do at this point is take my magnet and let it catch so that I'll know which side I need to put down. And so now I'll take my magnet. I am just going to place some glue right there. I'll place my magnet in the glue, and then I'll just glue this shut. All right, guys, so our project is absolutely stinking cute, and this craft consortium paper is just so precious and so much fun to work with, and I knew it would be when I saw the pad. So I am really enjoying the farm meadow, and I know that you guys are going to enjoy it too. So the last thing that we need to do to our really fun embellishment box is we need to place the latch. And here is my latch. So basically my magnet is on the inside and it's dry. And I just shaped up the edges to give it more of a curved or angled look. So you can see that my magnet catches nicely. And all I'm going to do at this point is take my glue and place some glue on this portion of the latch. Then I'll take my magnet, let it catch, and lay this down. Use my bone folder to stick it down. And now my finishing touches, I am going to take just a few of these absolutely wonderful little dots and press them down. And now that they're down, I really can't pull them up without tearing my paper. So I like where they are, and I am going to leave them just like that. And then the very last thing that I want to do is I want to take my latch and just place some glue down because I want to just dress it up a little bit, make it cute by putting my little bunny down. All right, guys, so my bunny is on and my latch is secured. My little pearls are on the top, and isn't this box just stinking cute? It measures 6 across, 2.5 inches high, and 3 3/4 inches deep. It is a really nice size embellishment box, and you can put all types of goodies in this. I absolutely had a ball making this with you guys, and I know that you're going to love the Farm Meadow collection by Craft Consortium just as much as I love playing with it. So I am going to bring in the other one so that you can see both of these little cuties. I'll open this one up because it's got all of my stuff in it. And then I'll open this one up because it's empty so that you can see just how much room you actually do get in these boxes. You have a lot of room. And doesn't this remind you of like a sewing box? I mean, when I look at it, that's kind of what I think about, but it really is a sweet way to give embellishments. It would also make a sweet way to give some beautiful French milled soaps, or all types of little goodies can go in these. Guys, they're perfect. So I hope that you have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys, have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.